Hey guys, it's Simon. So I went ahead and asked you guys on Instagram what topics or what advice you guys wanted me to cover, and a lot of you guys said overthinking. Now before I get into this, I also want to say that the full version of this video will be up on YouTube, so if you guys want to check that out after you're done watching this, of course. Anyways, in my opinion, what I've learned about overthinking throughout my life is that it's the feeling that comes from not having control over a situation, or that fear of not knowing what's gonna happen. And I feel like the best way to combat this, and the best way to combat a lot of problems that relate to anxiety, in my opinion, is to realize that we do not have control of like 99% of things that happen. I know it's hard and it's a weird feeling, but you have to accept that you can't control everything. The only thing you can do is work on yourself, put the most positive and most representative image of yourself and the most good energy out there, and then just sit back and watch things unfold. It's extremely hard, but you have to realize that everything does happen for a reason. And at the end of the day, you can only do so much, and it's hard to combat that feeling of powerlessness, the feeling that you can't do anything about a situation. You don't know how they're going to respond. And usually overthinking takes place in relationships, or when you're trying to get in a relationship. I think that's the main part that people want advice on. But in that case, you have to realize that you can only control yourself. You can't control how that other person in the relationship is going to react or what they're thinking, so why worry about it? I guess it's part of human behavior to worry about that, but at the same time, you shouldn't spend an unnecessary amount of time working on that. Instead, work on things you can control, because at the end of the day, that's how life is. You can't control a lot of things that happen to you. You may get in a car crash, or you may have something unfortunate happen to you, but you can't control that. There's that factor of luck or bad luck, in a sense, in the universe, in the world, that we all have to deal with, and that's actually what gives life its meaning, in a sense. Because if you just went about your day and you had nothing out of the ordinary happen to you, then your life would be bland, and you have to realize that. You have to embrace the bad things that happen to you along with the good things that happen to you, because you have to realize that they're not gonna always happen that way. In the end, you can only control how you react. So let's say you're overthinking about something you're doing tomorrow. You're having anxiety about, going in for work or whatever it may be, meeting someone for the first time. You have to realize that what you're thinking about, it won't help. Nothing that you can do can control how that outcome is gonna go about. What you can control is only you. You can only control how you're gonna present yourself. You can only control about what words are gonna come out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying, in that sense? So that's the most impactful thing I've learned. That's the greatest thing I've learned, and what's kind of helped me throughout life. And not even just overthinking. I think in general, if you realize that there's only a certain amount of things you can control about life, you begin to get less upset at the bad luck that you have. And it only, instead of like moping over it for multiple days, it only impacts you for like 30 minutes. At this point, if something bad happens to me, I make sure to cut that off at like 30 minutes. It's okay to get upset after something bad happens to you, but don't let it impact the rest of your day, the rest of your week, the rest of your year. In that sense, you want to cut that off. So coming back to the concept of overthinking, sorry, I'm rambling a lot. This is totally off script, but overthinking is something that we all deal with. It's normal, and I think it's good in a sense. If you overthink a little, it's good because you're worried about it, then you care, and then the outcome's overall going to be a bit better if you care. But at the same time, if you care too much, that can kind of rip you apart from the inside. So you have to realize that you can't control that. You cannot know everything about the situation. You can't know what the other person's thinking. All you can do is present what you want to present and that information to them in a positive way, and from there you move on. From there you go ahead. Don't think too hard about it. And I know it's a lot easier when you hear me saying it than actually doing it, but try to take your mind off what's going on right there. Instead, try to pursue things you like. Try to do, you just focus on. I'm a strong believer in focusing on goals that are doing a little bit each day for a long period of time. So like reading or getting into a passion. That's basically what video making was for me. So I think overall, what you have to do is find an outlet and kind of stick to that, and just don't worry about it, man. At the end of the day, compared to all the things you're gonna deal with in your life, this is tiny. When you're on your deathbed, you're not gonna be like, oh my god, the worst decision I ever made was not overthinking this moment. I wish that I could change something. Like, no, you're gonna remember all the great times when you're on your deathbed. You won't have time to worry about your regrets. You don't have time for that anymore, right? So in that same sense, only care about the things that will matter to you 20, 30 years down the road, okay? This is a temporary roadblock. You'll get through it. So yeah, that's basically all I had to say. Let me know if you like these long form videos. I'm gonna try to not edit this as much, put some clips in the background. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for all the support recently. Collection 2 is about to drop in about 6 or 5 hours here, so I'm really excited for that. But anyway, guys, let me know if you want more of these videos. Yeah, as always, keep it wholesome.